Hi, welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today I wanted to talk to you about my reading plans for the month of December. As I'm sure you know, December is the last month of 2025, and so you would think I would be trying to squeeze in a whole bunch of things to like complete goals and that kind of stuff, but I actually prefer to leave December as loose as possible because I just know how December goes. It always ends up being busy. We have a million different Christmas gatherings and parties and different things to be going to. And so I don't want to be stressed about my reading in the month of December. So I have a couple of like really concrete plans of things that I am going to read this month. And then I have a few things that I have the feeling will not be finished by the end of November. I'm filming this with, like a week and a half of November left when I'm filming this. So maybe I'll have those finished by the end of November, but I seriously doubt it. So I'm going to include those on this list as well. So my big book, my priority book, the book that I am very excited to read, and the only one that I have super definitive plans for is Dombey and Son by Charles Dickens. I'm reading this with Dia and my older sister Sandy. So that's going to be really fun. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully I will finish this within the month of December, but that's another reason why I don't want to have a lot of plans because this particular book is quite large. It's like even without appendix and notes, it's like 950 pages. So it might be a bit of a struggle for me to even finish this. My reading has definitely decreased this fall. I have had less time to read, and so just reading this, I will be pleased if that's like the only thing I get to. But of course, that's not the only thing I'm going to get to. I also am going to read The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This is actually a reread for me, and I will be reading it because I'm teaching it to my American literature class in the month of January. So I want to make sure I do a close reading of it during the month of December, annotate it, tab it up, take lots of notes so that way I can be ready for our discussion in January. I also bought this little devotional book, The Dawning of Indestructible Joy by John Piper. That was like a very inexpensive. I was looking for a little Advent devotional, which I love having during the month of December because, like I said, it gets really busy, and sometimes the busyness of holiday festivities can distract you from actually preparing your heart during the Advent season and actually focusing in on like what really matters. So each daily one has a scripture, and then it's really short, like it's very brief thoughts. And so it will be easy to tack on to my morning Bible reading as kind of a added focus on the reason for the season. I actually don't have any reads for my in-person book club or my Patreon during the month of December, and that is intentional in both groups. For my Patreon, we do like 2 months on, 1 month off. And so quarterly, we're reading, 2 books together. We have the month off to, share about favorite books or do something else. We still get together, but we don't read a book. And so it's intentional that I do that in December because of the busyness. And the same thing is true with our in-person book club, that it is hard to squeeze things in. So we have a Christmas gathering during the month of December, but there's no required reading. But I am still going to be reading a book that is recommended by one of my patrons and vlogging it. I do that every single month. And so I'm going to be doing Time of the Child by Niall Williams, which I'm really excited to read. This sounds like it has kind of some Claire Keegan Foster vibes, which is definitely like one of my favorite reads of the year so far. So it is set in Ireland and has to do with like a father and a daughter who are living together. The daughter's an adult, and something happens where this small baby or child is brought into their lives, and now they're taking care of it and raising it. And it completely changes their lives, being responsible for this little child. So I feel like it's also set at Christmas time. And so it feels like it's very appropriate and that this is the perfect time to read it. Then I have a book that I didn't get to at all in November that I really want to read in December. So I already mentioned last month that Crystal from Fiber Artsy Reads hosts an Asian book like read along every single, I was going to say month, but they're actually bi-monthly, which is why I'm bumping it to December. And that's The Rainfall Market by Yu Young Wang. And this was November/December's read. So I feel like I can still fit it in December, hopefully. It's very short. It's supposed to be really cozy, really fun. If you didn't catch me talking about it in my November TBR, I'll give you a little blurb on the back that says, "On the outskirts of Rainbow Town, there is an old abandoned house. They say that if you send a letter detailing your misfortunes there, you could receive a ticket. If you bring this ticket to the house on the first day of the rainy season, you'll be granted entrance into the mysterious rainfall market, where you can choose to completely change your life. So, sounds like a really fun, kind of magical, cozy kind of premise, but with some reflection on there, probably about life. So sounds like it's going to be a perfect read for me. Then I have 2 books that I'm fairly certain I'm not going to finish in November. One of those is Chance by Joseph Conrad. I'm reading this with Dia and also with Christy, and I didn't even start this until there was like 2 weeks left of November, and the way that we scheduled out the reading means that I won't finish it till mid-December, which is totally fine. So this one is definitely going to be carried into December, and looking forward to reading that with both of them. The other one is one that I have just had on my Kindle for ages, and it's An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. I'd say I've been slowly reading this, but that's not really true. I've actually only read it a little bit here and there at the time of filming this. I'm like 10% of the way through. Supposed to be reading it with Whitney. She's much farther along than I am. I've had a really hard time getting into it so far and being invested in it. So that's definitely been kind of like an issue with me reading this book. And I don't know why, because I loved book 1. It very well might be a me issue because I'm feeling a bit slumpy, so that probably has something to do with it. But it's book 2 of the Lycanius trilogy, and I would love to finish this in December, so that way I can move on to book 3 and finish this trilogy so I can get back to Robin Hobb, which we kind of put a pause on so that way we could read this trilogy. Anyways, those are my definitive plans for December. This is a super short video because I don't have a lot of definitive plans. Like I said, Dombey and Son is the one I'm prioritizing along with The Outsiders. And then everything else is just either a continuation or something just for fun. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. If you've read any of the books that I'm planning to read, I would love to chat with you about that. But I would also love to hear your December plans. Are you the kind of person that participates in all the fun Christmassy read-alongs and readathons, or are you someone who just kind of takes December easy, not really necessarily looking to finish up, different goals or things you had planned for the year, but just kind of relaxing and taking it kind of chill, because that's kind of what I do in December. But I know that there's always so many different events and things going on, and then also, like the push to finish as many books as you can by the end of the year, or finish up your goals, or finish up a series you're in the middle of, or whatever. So let me know what your December reading plans are and what you are the most excited to read. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me, and I will see you again next time.